So the world has been taken by this Gotham Knights news like a storm. Okay, so Gotham Knights is capped at 30 FPS on PS5 and Xbox Series X, as Warner Brothers Games Montreal confirms no performance mode for 60 FPS gameplay. And the internet right now is losing its damn mind over this, and at good reason, okay, because a couple of years ago when the PS4 was the major console, right? There was no PS5 because you got to keep in mind PS5 has been around for 2 years now. Okay, it's been 2 years. When the PS4 was around, if you had games running at 60 FPS, you were happy, but games mainly ran at 30 FPS. So I can definitely understand why people would be pissed at the lack of 60 FPS, because I mean, a lot of people make the joke, oh, you can't tell the difference between 30 and 60 FPS, but dude, it is such a major game changer. When I first went from 30 to 60 FPS, I was like, god damn, at least in games, right? Obviously. I mean, right now, I'm a PC gamer. I've been a PC gamer primarily for years. I love my PS5, okay? I also play over there. But I play at 144 Hertz. I've got an ultra-wide monitor, and for me, that's a game changer. I've got an RTX 3080 that I got a couple of days ago. Ray tracing and all that. It is such a damn beast. It runs this whole resolution like a charm. And I personally am getting Gotham Knights over on PC because that's where I play. Ultra wide. You get to see so much more of the game. 1440p high resolution, so greater graphics and everything. But it does suck. I will personally say, I first defended it, and now I'm like, well, 30 FPS is very slow. It really is, because a lot of these people that play on PS5 and Xbox Series X have games that run, like, let's say even if it's like the worst 60 FPS, 900p resolution, at least it's still 60 FPS, and it doesn't look that bad on console because consoles are well optimized. But I wanted to look at and talk about some of the reasons why this is the case. But first, I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. Are you pissed? Are you disappointed that there is no 60 FPS for Gotham Knights? Or are you like, it's alright? Because I'm seeing a lot of people jumping to drastic conclusions and actually canceling the pre-orders. But I mean, it is your money. You can do whatever you want. Though I personally think we're probably going to get some sort of patch, like way down the road or something, giving a 60 FPS sort of mode. But it is weird that there's no performance mode. Now, I'm not sure if the performance mode, lack of performance mode means that you're stuck with ray tracing, or you're going to have 30 FPS with ray tracing and 30 FPS without it. Because if that's the case, that's kind of weird, right? Because this article by Game Rant here as well, right? It says Gotham Knights will be capped at 30 FPS on PS5 and Xbox Series X, as it does not have a performance mode. But here's the kicker, right? Gotham Knights was set to launch on previous generation consoles as well, but the PS4 and Xbox One versions were cancelled this year. I assume because they wouldn't be powerful enough to handle this. And there is also a... so there's this, right? Okay, I'm going to open this up in a different tab. So there's this, okay? And let me just make that better for you guys. So this is like one of the developers over at Warner Brothers Montreal on this game. And, she said, hello everyone. I know many of you are wondering about the availability of a performance mode for Gotham Knights on consoles. Due to the types of features we have in our game, like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in a highly detailed open world, it's not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher FPS. For this reason, our game does not have a performance quality toggle option and will run at 30 FPS on consoles. Now, that is understandable, at least they came out with it. That I respect, right? You came out with it, that's right. You can see all the people being salty, skull emojis and things. But at the same time, I can sort of understand, because, as a developer, I mean, I'm not a developer, hell no, dude. I don't have that kind of skill, and that is such hard work. Because you gotta understand, devs get insane crunch time. They're working their asses off constantly, bug testing, doing all of these things, and it's crazy how much work they gotta do. So nothing but respect for these devs, and I can totally understand, why, there is no 30 FPS and whatnot. It's like, it's pretty crazy because, we're in a world now where it's 2022, most games have at least 60 FPS regardless, right? And they're talking about this here. There's a the whole co-op thing is probably one of the biggest reasons why it's only 30 FPS, because you know you'd be running like the way I see it, right? Let's say your buddy joins the game. Like let's say your buddy joins the game, and also I'm going to talk about hardware unboxed here as well in a second. But let's say your buddy joins your world, right? Like you're playing and he joins your world, and like they made it sound like, you know, you can go, you don't have to interact with your friend. You know, your friend can go on the other side of the open world, like of the Gotham itself, and be kicking ass, doing whatever they are doing. That's still going to drop FPS because you're now running two people like that. So I can totally understand if there's no 60 FPS just because of that, because it's probably hella demanding due to just that alone. Now, I don't know how optimized the game is. Will it run under 30 FPS? Because if it's still just fine 30 FPS, then I guess I can see it. But you know, the other thing is that they said here, it is an action game, so higher frame rate will provide a smoother and more responsive gameplay experience. Many players will probably just wanted to hear this news, especially since it was announced just a week before release day. Owners of a current gen owners of a current gen can select the graphics mode of their they can select the graphics mode of their choice in the majority of games in the system. So it's incredibly rare for a title of this on the PS5 and Xbox Series X to not have an option for 60 FPS. So, and keep this in mind, this news does not fully rule out the possibility of Gotham Knights getting 60 FPS support in the future. It may follow the same path as Watch Dogs Legion, as Ubisoft added a 60 FPS performance mode post its release. However, there's no guarantee that performance mode will ever come to the game. And that's right, they never said it will never show up. But, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, Gotham Knights is getting a 4-player co-op game mode as a free update in November 29th. It's, you basically fight as a team going through 30 floors together. So I assume it's not going to be that big of a arena for 4 players and stuff. You know, so even if 60 FPS is not feasible in the open world, it may come to this game mode as it's set in an arena-like environment. But we'll see. It comes out on October 21st. For PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. It is weird though. Like realistically, it is quite weird that it isn't getting it. But like I said, I can totally understand why. It's kind of like, you know, a coin flip. You can go either way. But this is what I don't understand. Okay, so check this out. The top image is 30 FPS on PlayStation 4, right? It is Arkham Knight. Okay, a very, very near and dear game to me, running at 30 FPS on PS4, and bottom image is 30 FPS on PS5. So this was posted by Tony Bing Gaming. Some of you guys probably know him. Awesome content creator. No, nothing, you know, I've got no beef with this post whatsoever. Now, obviously, here's the thing. This game has been out for ages. It's probably been fully optimized for PS4. You know, because they did cut some bits and pieces here and there, but it looks freaking gorgeous on PS4, right? Like, there's no denying how cool it is to have this game run that well. And then you've got Gotham Knights here at 30 FPS on PS5. Now, obviously, this is just a screenshot, so the quality is going to take a hit, and then obviously YouTube compression is also going to take a bigger hit here as well. But look at this. So, my biggest thing as to why this game is 30 FPS, like I said before, it's quite literally because of the co-op, okay? Because you've got stuff going on your screen when you're playing, and then if a buddy joins, it's probably like, let's say your buddy's like on that rooftop up there beating ass. He's rendering all that, and your console has to deal with that as well, because it's an untethered experience, but it is happening in your world. And simultaneously, what he's doing in your world, it's still rendering it out. What you're doing, because he's in your world and he's doing the same, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I personally don't mind. Like I said, I'm getting this on PC, but because I want to support this game. I want to see more superhero games come out and do well, but also at the same time, I do want everybody to have an equal experience and have a fun experience, because I think it definitely isn't fair if I get to play this game, let's say like 144 hertz in my PC setup, but like you are playing on a current gen console, right? These consoles are damn powerful, right? There's no joke about that. They're so damn powerful, so why can't you play it at 60 FPS? Now, obviously, there's dev limitations and things. The world is huge. I assume it is freaking huge if it can't run at 60, and the whole co-op thing. But, you know, Marvel Spider-Man had like 3 different modes, okay? So it had performance mode, which is 60 FPS, no ray tracing. Then I'm pretty sure that it had like a 60 FPS with some ray tracing, and then it had a 30 FPS but full on insane ray tracing, and it looked freaking damn good, man. So Wild Spider-Man definitely did it right, and that is an open world single player game. You know, it's rendering a lot of things going on in the world, but this world here in Gotham Knights sounds very, very dynamic. So I don't know, man. Like, they've just got to reveal more details about their game and more reasoning as to why there isn't 30 FPS. But I don't think this is going to be the end of the world, because we've been playing 30 FPS games in the PS4 for a damn long time. I remember beating Final Fantasy 15 on a PS4 when it first came out. Not even like a Pro, just a normal PS4, man. And I had a good damn time doing it. So, but then again, that was a long time ago. Times have changed and gamers demand different things. Save the best bit for last that I wanted to cover as well, which is this whole thread by Lee Devenalt. Now, I personally don't know Lee at all, right? But he is a senior character technical artist at Rocksteady. So, you know, obviously he's got his foot in there, right? And he's retweeted this, and I've retweeted it and liked it as well. And what he said is, I wish gamers understood what 60 FPS means in terms of all things they lose to make the game run that fast, especially taking into account that we have a current gen console that's not much better than a last gen one. Well, I don't know if PS5 is really that worse than, or not as good, but like, here we go. So let's have a look here. So I wish they understood that 60 FPS equals 16 milliseconds. I wish they understood that each enemy on screen takes up a chunk of that time. Each VFX spawned each NPC. You want dynamic time of day? What about global illumination? That's usually 4 more milliseconds right off the bat. A quarter of your frame budget is gone just on one feature. Shadows, that's usually another millisecond or 2 depending on how many lights you allow shadows on. Like, before you even get to gameplay features like enemy numbers and such, your frame budget is already being eaten into. I wish gamers understood that things like lighting and illumination are gameplay features. It all adds up. Honestly, congratulations to Gotham Knights team for what they've been able to achieve graphically within this game, or with this game. And thank you for having the courage to put quality first. I really should have prefaced this with, I don't work for Warner Brothers Montreal. I don't work on or have ever worked on Gotham Knights. I have no idea why they made the choices that they've made. I worked in game development for over a decade, and I'm hoping to help people see it's never simple. And that is the thing that I get. I understand, because I'm like, well, it's 30 FPS for a reason, right? We can all cry, we can all go, wow, pitchforks and torches, but it's not worth it. These are devs, these are people working hard on a game and project that they're passionate about, and I think we should respect that part. Now, if you don't want to get this because it's 30 FPS, well, then you don't have to. But it'll still, I think it'll still be a playable experience, it'll still be fun, and if it's still visually appealing, like if it still has ray tracing, right, at 30 FPS, dude, that is freaking damn good still, right? Like, game development is hella complicated, there's so many different things going into all of this, so I'm just gonna say, you know, I'm here for it. If I had a I do have a PS5, but if I didn't have a PC, I'd still get it. I just personally like having it on PC just because it's a much easier and nicer experience for myself. But it is what it is, man. It is one of these things that, you know, you're not going to win regardless. But, you know, that they did put their foot down, and I respect that, and I respect, you know, the game itself. It's game development is something I could never get into. It is so, like I said, it's such a stressful thing, right? But they make it work, and you know, I can't even, there's nothing else I can really say. But I do want to ask you guys' opinions, okay? What do you think on this? Will this change your mind? Will you still get the game, even if it runs at 30 FPS on Xbox and PS5? What, the new Xbox and PS5? Or are you just going to be like, nah, I'm good. 30 FPS is too low for me. Or are you like myself and getting it on PC, so it doesn't really affect you that much? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out another video and subscribe if you're new. I truly appreciate it, because I will cover this game. I do plan on covering it. I just don't really cover little tiny news, but it's pretty damn huge. So yeah, have yourselves an absolutely wonderful day. Take care and peace.